So the next installment of the SYNTHO podcast is here. I'm joined by Animal Crossing owner and Manchester party thrower Ollie Ryder. It's a great conversation, some great information, some entertainment and some humour as well. So how's life, mate?
It's been good, you know, mate. I think there's two ways that you kind of can approach the current situation in there. There's one, you can get lost in everything that's going on. And the second is to kind of focus on yourself and what you've got in front of you and your future. And I think that's largely what I've used this time to do, because generally speaking, you know, I yourself included, like lifestyle is so busy and you don't necessarily get that time to sit back, think, and take that time to work on yourself. So it's been refreshing. It's been a different type of challenge, but I'm always up for a challenge. You know what I mean, mate? What about yourself? How have you taken this time?
I think it's been amazing, to be honest. I actually wrote my first email, newsletter yesterday, and it was about the amount of things I actually managed to start doing last year. Things like a podcast, things like writing, reading, running, that you're on it as well.
Yeah.
Just so many things that I would never, ever have done. I think because I was so consumed by the weekend and just everything there was no time, was there really? And I think
I've seen that just from yourself, mate, and I proper respect how you've kind of used your time. You've really developed yourself, and I appreciate it. Hats off to you, mate. Just taking back to how you could use this time, and you've absolutely smashed it.
Nice one, man. So if someone bumped into Ollie Ryder on a street and he asked what you do, what do you do? What is your job title?
Daytime or nighttime?
Both.
Fingers in all sorts of pies, really, mate. Obviously, a big part of what I do and where I've learned my craft is working for the Warehouse Project and for Park Life Festival. Started there making brews 6 years ago, and now I head up the full marketing and promotions there. Our little baby that we created 2 years ago now, even though we've had a year and no parties, is Animal Crossing, which people might recognise the brand for. And then I also manage bookings and the club at the Progress Centre, which is a new space. And starting up an artist management agency at the minute. Got a couple of people on the roster there just working away at that. And then we're starting on a new project. I've got another new space which will be called Square One. That's going to be a bit of a new outdoor area that we've got the license for passed for fingers crossed next summer. And then also we've got the Loft, which is Animal Crossing's personal little space. You know, we've always had the Dale House, and the people who know Animal Crossing know about Dale House. They know about the memories there. But we've got you know them fondly, mate. Let me tell you. And now we've got our own place that kind of properly reflects what Animal Crossing is about. All white walls, colourful beams. You just walk in and want to be in there for at least 24 hours, which is what it's all about at the end of the day. Yeah.
So a lot of shit going on, man.
Yeah.
So let's go right back to the start then. So Warehouse Project. Before that, you were DJing there, right?
Yes. Oh, I do a bit of DJing and producing.
Oh yeah, yeah, it does a bit of DJing as well. So DJ, promoter, marketer, promoter. I've already said that. A few going on, man. So interestingly, how are you managing all your time between these projects?
I think being organised, mate. Every night before I go to bed, I'll write a timeline of what I'm doing in the day. And I think like you said, I picked up the habit of reading, running, and all these things kind of help for your mental health. And I think if you're making the most out of your time in the sense that you're not getting battered every weekend, you know, you can wake up fresh every day. You're 100% of yourself all the time. And if you're at that capacity, you're able to balance and manage things, you know what I mean? And it's making sure that when you set a time limit to do something, it's them hours within the day. That's when you're accomplishing them tasks. So it's just about keeping organised, mate. And
yeah, what I struggle with most is actually if I go out the weekend, it breaks my train of thought. Say I'm on a really good roll, so now I've got the podcast, SYNTHO videos and stuff. I know what I'm going to do next week, and it's going to be no problem, no issue. But say I went out and that train of thought just changes, and you've almost got to pick up the pieces again then. And then once I lost you a bit, then
I'm still struggling from New Year.
Yeah, luckily, I say luckily, I got coronavirus I was ill from Boxing Day, so I didn't actually go out on New Year's Eve. So it meant I've actually had a nice 2 weeks now to proper get higher. But yeah, I think for me, it's just staying in the same frame of mind and not losing that train of thought. And then, almost... Go on.
Sorry. You can still have fun regardless. Do you know what I mean? We've got them type of personalities where I don't need to have a drink to have fun. I'm my best self when I'm myself. Do you know what I mean? You can still have fun in them environments and be yourself and crack on and be there till after the clock, but still just being yourself. Do you know what I mean? I'm really kind of weighing up now. I'm 26 years of age, 27 in January. And it's like, I've got a future ahead of me. I've got everything lined up there now. And it's, where do I want to go in life? Where do you see your future? Now is the time to work on yourself. Although there's no parties going on, our entire industry is flat. We're still happy. We're still cracking on. We're still progressing. And if you can use this time to kind of work out what your best self is, and you're always going to learn, you're always going to progress. That's the beauty of life, mate. You're always going to keep getting better. The more you're in that routine, the more you're in rolling through it. So yeah, it's been refreshing, mate. It's been good.
Yeah, I think it's gonna give like people like us that are putting some work in a chance to really like come back with a bang anyway.
Yeah, most definitely, mate. And I think the beauty of it is, although there's no set timeline, and you can revisit your budgets and your timelines as many times as possible, it's when it kicks off again, mate. It's gonna be like back in the 80s when it was the coal miners rebellions and all them strikes, and after that it was just like that summer of love. Do you know what I mean? It's gonna be like that, but tenfold, mate. So if you've been able to stay patient, work on yourself, progress, and stay positive, and be grateful. I think gratitude is a massive thing in life, mate. Like my gran is the absolute epitome of being grateful. Like you ring her, I rang yesterday where I just called to say I love you, and she started crying. She was that happy. That made a day, bro. You know what I mean?
Is she on it like Nando's?
Yeah. The grand knows one, mate. But if you can be happy with waking up and going, wow, that tree is fucking well green. Do you know what I mean? And be happy at that. Then you're laughing, really. You're not worried. Yes, so what? The world stopped and your industry's calmed down for a bit, but it's going to come back, bro. It is. Yeah. If you can realise that and accept that and be comfortable with that, then you're laughing.
Yeah, I think on that note, we can actually talk about the glimmer of hope we did have last summer when it looked like the ball was going to get rolling, and you did a really good job, actually, didn't you? You managed to set up the Progress Centre so it could do social distance events. Yeah, and it was wicked, mate. And I think, everyone had their opinion on what the social distancing parties was, which was, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. But what we created there was the only place in the UK, really, where you could stand up. There was a Function 1 sound system, and it was going off. Do you know what I mean? It was going off. You was there with 6 pals, and you was in an enclosed area, but you were standing up, you had a drink in your hand. You didn't have to wear a mask unless you was going to a bar. Do you know what I mean? But you've just got to play the game at the end of the day. And I think it's not the most ideal thing in the world, but it's like, what is the point of a party? It's about bringing people together. It's about bringing your mates in a social environment where you can make a connection. You can listen to the artists that you love. And we was able to do that. And I was super proud of how that series rolled out. And it was just a flicker. It was just a glimmer. But again, that was on a micro scale. So when the pens get sacked off again. Well, it was funny, wasn't it? Because we actually faced, we did the first one as you and me. And obviously, we got unlucky, didn't we, really?
Very unlucky, mate.
And got shut down after we got about 3 hours in, didn't we, I think?
Yeah.
And we got unlawfully, I would say.
Yeah, the police apologised after it. It was, and this was as if things weren't already tough enough for a promoter. It was the police officers who come down. They had no licensing background, so they're not in any right to kind of give their opinion. So despite me reciting what the regulations was, he was just like, no, I'm a copper. And because they'd be given the authority by the government to close it down, then they, in their thought, were rightfully shut it down. But in retrospect, when I picked it up with the head of police in Manchester, he was apologetic and said, they've checked the body cam footage and it shouldn't have been shut down. But mate, how on top was it? It was heavy salad.
It wasn't good because it was quite intimidating, wasn't it, really, for what was going on? Some of it was so controlled. I think like 4 SWAT vans turned up, didn't they? There must have been about 20 coppers there, wasn't there? Or more?
The heavies came out.
Yeah.
I was there talking to him, and then next minute, this the riot van was there, but then the door got opened and it was just like 15 heavies got out the back of it. I was like, wow, why are you spending your time here, mate? It's mad. This is a safe, controlled environment where people are safely enjoying themselves just because there's some loud music there. It's just a perception that we have to deal with, innit, mate? And like, it's all part of what we do in the industry that we're in. There's a lot of people who unlike the rest of Europe, don't necessarily respect it, but we're trying our hardest in the scene that we're in to really bring to light that the fact that it's a cultural thing. Do you know what I mean? It's like the artists that we see are talented, they're not just banging a USB and then flipping, pressing play. Do you know what I mean? It's like these artists I see as like, as you go to a theatre, do you know what I mean? You'd sit and you'd watch and you're entertained. When you go and watch RPR, kill it for 9 hours and you're there, like you've gone up and down and all around and span your head back off. It's just like, that's talent, that's art. Do you know what I mean?
So that brings me to a point actually that I wanted to ask you. What is it that, so Animal Crossing, what makes you book a DJ? Is there a certain thing you look for? Like, do you have like a checklist, or is it more just of a thing that you just discuss and don't overthink it?
I think it's I think the way that we approach a lineup is the combination of artists. We always like to just throw something in there that, or, you know, put that extra name in that just kind of elevates the experience alongside. And a lot of it is to do with the venues as well, mate. Like, I don't know if people know, but it's like when we find a venue, it's we build a creative around it. Like when we was in the Arches, we spray painted the full thing. When we was going to do the Infuse showcase, it had all of the plastic film over the top of it. And then it's the artistic elements and then the sound that we think will reflect best in the space.
So let's actually tell someone, let's rewind a bit. If someone's listened to this, they've not even seen Animal Crossing ever before online, let's give them a little description of like the artwork and then the concept you go towards building parties. So it's like you go to find a venue and that way around it, getting a license.
Yeah. So, well, I'll give you kind of a bit of a narrative of how the concept was found, really. And it's something that'll always resonate with me massively. It'll always stick in my head. It was my boss from work. And he was like, whatever anyone's doing, do the complete opposite. Do the complete opposite. It just resonated with me. I was driving to football with him and I was like, wow, that's stuck in my head. And it's always been there. Because at the end of the day, if you're trying to replicate something that already exists, it's already at its time, it's already at its point, it's already happening, it's existing. And there's going to be 13, 14, 1,500 people all trying to replicate that. Whereas if you're coming up with this concept that doesn't exist, and you're doing it with passion, with love, and all this combination, and it just feels left field as anything, then it's bound to be successful, especially if it's done for the right reasons, with the right ethoses and the right policies, etc. And so, yeah, when me and Joey sat down, it was just like, it needs to be colourful, it needs to be fun, it needs to reflect who we are, because we're all a bit daft, aren't we, really? Do you know what I mean? Joey Jackson videos at flipping 2 o'clock in the morning, giving it all that. Like, we're fun people, do you know what I mean? We don't take ourselves too seriously. And I think that's reflected in the parties and what we try to achieve with it. So the artwork, it's a guy called Matt. It was outside Joey's old studio. So we'd come up with this concept. We'd come up with everything, like the color schemes. We need to be bright, bold. And then I'd come up with, like, you know, the old Wired logo, which is like the old tech American magazine. And then we were just trying to think what name sat within it. And my granddad, who passed away when I was 5, but it's them first 5 years where, like, you're most inspired and you're most influenced that can happen. And so I used to just sit and just watch him all the time, and he could play any instrument, Josh. He's self-taught. Like, he went over to Italy after the Second World War and just fell in love with it. And they come back and taught himself how to play the accordion, the piano, the tin whistle, a banjo, a guitar, bro, anything. The guy was a magician, a musical magician. And that's just within me anyway, do you know what I mean? And so his accordion was in the studio before it got revamped into what it is now. We've just got a new studio as well, which will be revealed soon. But his accordion was on the side. It said Paolo Soprini on it. And so type that into Google. You know, when you're just doing the random name searches and you just click in here and click in there, and, you know, you just sod's law, you know what I mean? It just all felt like it would just come together. And so as we typed in Paolo Soprini, 3 clicks later on Wikipedia, this pink elephant just pops up in a circle finger, and it said Animal Crossing underneath it. And me and Joey looked at each other, and it was like a eureka moment, bro.
Yeah.
It was mad. I don't know if you've ever had one, but something just clicked, and I thought, that's it. Yeah. That this is what I'm meant to do. This is what my life's meant to be about. It was weird. It was an indescribable feeling. It was just like something just in me just aligned. It was well weird. Yeah. But I'm well happy it did.
Yeah.
And so then Animal Crossing, and then the artwork of it. It's like, when you go to do your artwork and it's your brand, it's got to be different. Do you know what I mean? As I just said. And it was like, we went through a couple of designers, and it was just like, it's the designers that everyone uses. Do you know what I mean? And it needs its own identity. It needs to represent this thing that's in our head. And then Joey was at his old studio at Mantra, And outside that, there was a mural. And he rang me. He said, I can't find it. I can't remember what it was. And he rang me at fucking daft o'clock in the morning. He was like, I found him. I found him. I found him. And anyway, it was this guy, Matt. And then since then, the story's just kind of, it's just taken off. And then to bring it back to how the processes work in terms of the venues, it's a lot of research, mate. Like you're knocking on doors, you're emailing people, you're finding out what construction company owns what, you know, and then as you've been doing that for 2 years, you kind of build up these relationships. You know, the way that you present yourself, I think, is very important. The way that you're articulating yourself, and when you're speaking with passion about it, and the fact that it's not just a dirty rave, there's so much more to it. There's so many more elements that are involved. You know, I brand us as a music and arts collective because I'm so passionate about that other experience. You know, people have got 5 senses that deserve to be tantalized, mate. I want it to smell good. Do you know what I mean? And then through that, obviously, I've built up. I'm super proud of the relationship that I've built with the police and the council. That's a massive factor in what we do. You know, them trusting us and putting their trust into what we're doing, and that's why I was able to do the social distance series, is because they trusted me to do it. And then, yeah, mate, it's just about just being adventurous. It's like anything, you just got to go out there and find it. You know, it is out there for you to do. And I'm a strong believer, if you want to do something, you can achieve it, mate. And that's whether it's venues or, you know, working with a particular DJ. It's a story that I'll always remember. It's like when we first started, like we got big for our boots. And I emailed Raresh's agent like 3 parties in, and I was like, just want to see if Raresh is available on this date. And it's not Andrea. It was I can't remember what his name was, but he come back and was like, Raresh does not want to play for you. It's like a year on, he was meant to play for the birthday party, and still will.
Yeah. Good story, man. I think I love what you said at the start about doing the complete opposites. I was reading a book recently, Matthew Syed, Rebel Ideas, and it was saying that when he come up with an idea, the first thing you should do is think of the complete inversion. So make a restaurant but have no menus. Like, you think, how can you have a restaurant with no menus? But things like now on the phone, you just go on the phone, you know, like scan a QR code. And when I recently went to Dubai, it was funny because as I read that book, I was like, how could you have a restaurant with no menus? Then in Dubai at the moment, there's no menus anywhere. You just go to a restaurant, you scan the QR code, and then it's on your phone.
Oh, there.
Things like
all digitalized.
Yeah, things like Uber, make a tax company with no taxis. They don't actually own them taxis. Like you think the first thing you need to do when you make a taxi company is, wait, I need to own a fleet of taxis. Oh wait, no, I don't.
No, I don't.
Airbnb, don't own any property. Like
cut your overheads.
Yeah, you can, but you would never think that. But that's the first thing you should always do, I think, is like, I want to do this. What's everyone else doing? And then just try and eliminate the biggest thing, and then come from the reverse. But yeah, it's a really good, really good point, that. And yeah, I think the branding for Animal Crossing is something that is iconic. Like it's iconic, nothing short of it.
Appreciate that, mate. I really do.
Yeah, and I think it'll become something that everyone's going to recognize across the world, I guess. Like at first I was like, wow, you know, like impactful, but then like now it's really stuck, and then you stay consistent with it, and I think it works a treat, and it really defines you as a brand. Yeah,
it's refreshing to hear that, mate. And I think that's kind of one of our goals. We were seeing it, you know, at the Archie's party, and the couple following that, like, we want to become an international destination. We want Manchester. It's all about Manchester, bro. Like, I'm well proud of the city that I'm from, and it's like, I want that part of history. I want that. Do you know what I mean? I want to achieve that for the city. I want people to come to Manchester, come to our parties, to come to a You and Me, to come to just to experience what our scene is about. You know, I think that one of the first things that I did when we started Animal Crossing was a belled flux. I was like, listen, this is what we're doing. I think that's where we're so lucky, bro. It's like, we communicate with each other. There's no egos between us. Do you know what I mean? It's like, you come and play for us. I've been and played for you. It's like, you come to our parties, I go to your parties. You come and play at the afters. It's fucking wicked, man. It's like, I miss it, bro. I'm well excited for it to come back.
I think we are lucky in that sense that you would probably, on paper, look, we're probably each other's biggest competitor, really, in theory, but it's not like that in the slightest.
Not like that at all, bro. We're so lucky, mate. We really are, because not just in the UK, but elsewhere, it's not seen like that. It's not treated like that. But it takes more than one person to win a war. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You need a collective of people to create a scene, to create a movement, to do more positive things. The more people involved, the more of a positive impact you can have.
Yeah, I think I wrote in capital letters on my piece of paper, Manchester, because I knew it's a big part of you, and it's something you're passionate about as well, right?
Yeah, 100%, mate. I mean, anywhere I go, you're going to hear me about 3 miles off.
Yeah, for anyone listening who's not from England, Ollie's got a Manchester accent, like a strong one, I'd say. So yeah,
Proud of it.
you've already mentioned what's next. Do you say the studio's on the way, which will be a big reveal?
Yeah. So we've been in there for the past month, but it's them finishing touches. So we're getting like a bit of a mural done in there. The acoustic treatment needs to go in. There's been a bit of a delay apparently from the manufacturer. We ordered it back in December, but it's coming end of Jan. So when that's ready, it's wicked, man. It's like a flipping New York studio apartment. It's class. And I think we was working from the garage, which is just at the bottom of the garden, which is wicked, man. It served its purpose. It gave us a place to come and meet up every Wednesday and religiously just sit and talk about AC and just chill with your mates, which is wicked. And it's like I do what I love with my mates. Like can't beat it.
No, not at all.
But we're just ready now for that next step, and I think it feels a bit more professional. It feels a bit more like home. You know, it's got a bit of everything. It's got like a little bit of an office space. It's got a massive production area. It's got the decks in there. It's got a couch, massive telly. So yeah, it just feels like home. It feels like when Raresh comes, he's not just going to be sat in his hotel room. He's going to come and sit in the studio with us and just have a couple of drinks and just you know feel welcome.
So everyone's heard that first. If Raresh will be back at Animal Crossing HQ. Funny, man. Yeah, I think it's sick. Like that is like a dream for me, really, to have like an external studio, so you physically go to work. I think it's like I like the idea of actually going somewhere. But obviously, there's the convenience of having it at home as well. But yeah, it's nice to have it's hard to do as well, isn't it? Find the right space, and the fact you found one is ideal.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all right at finding spaces, fortunately.
So what about on the label front? Because I know more than anyone, it's hard work. It's easier said than done, isn't it? Keeping a solid release schedule.
Yeah, it is. But it's been fun, man. It's been a different type of challenge because going in there, we've not had any previous experience with it. We've stuck with just doing vinyl only, which we're happy about. You know, we feel like the concept that we created, like making the little cartoons, which is fun.
I love that actually.
Yeah. The next release, which comes out in February, it's Joey's, which is great. It's the Kill Bill EP. It's called. It's all based around like the Kill Bill, the film. The animation, bro, is unbelievable. It's like, you know, the fight scene with Lucy Liu at the end.
Yeah.
It's Joey versus the three bears.
Can't wait to see that one. Yeah, the Jake Floyd one was really funny as well.
Yeah,
the crap.
It's class, mate. But in terms of the future timelines, we've kind of got the next two done. We just need to send them off to Omar at Memoria. And then we're planning on creating 2 other sub-labels.
Yeah.
One called Pet Store Records. It's the first time we're telling anyone about this. Pet Store Records, which is the concept and creative around it is fucking super cool. Like, because when we've got the loft, we want to put the 2 other parties will go in there, and we want to do a Sunday party as well.
Yeah.
Because that just doesn't exist in Manchester. There's definitely room for it.
We said this week, didn't we, when we chatted?
Yeah. Just be cool, man. Like, in London, you can go out on a Friday and come home on a Monday. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I'm not personally going to do that myself, but there's just the option to do it. And on a Sunday, it's like you don't even have. You can just go and have a couple little wine and dines with your mate because he's not going on a Sunday. Do you know what I mean? And it's that type of space where you'll just want to chill, maybe have a little slushy or something. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, Pet Store, which is going to be a bit more energy, a bit like your sound, a bit more pumping.
Yeah.
And then there's going to be another sub label which is just strictly Romanian, minimal.
Minimal.
The kids like to call it.
So yeah, I reckon some music heads will be listening to this. Like, are you handpicking artists? Are you accepting demos? What's your approach for that? For them 2 new ones?
Yeah, we've got a promo email for Animal Crossing, and we've just been kind of speaking to various artists. We have a big discussion internally within the WhatsApp or when we're together and just kind of align where we want to, because you only get one chance to make a good first impression, I think.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, so when we're introducing these next 2 sub labels, it's got to be
impactful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a big focus for us, is really nail the label this year. Like, try and get one release a month, and we've got the next 3, but it's just the delays, and then all it takes is one little thing to go wrong, and then it knocks you back a month, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like what we did recently is I sent off the Gemma for it's like the PRS, license the tracks, and I only sent off 200 copies, and then DJ was like, oh, we got to do 300 actually. So had to resend the thing off, and it's took like a month and a half. And I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
and when the track's already ready, then it's like knocks everything back a month and a half.
Yeah. It's just it's out of your hands, isn't it? With them
Yeah.
type of things, you just got to kind of go with the flow with it. And I don't know about you, but you know, I see some labels, and it's again, you're learning and you're doing your own. Everyone's in their own lanes and whatnot, but some people are like a year ahead of it. And like when we first started, we got well giddy and Messi's like flipping 20 artists and tried to get music off everyone. But I think, you know, we want to do, we don't ever really want to be more than 2 or 3 ahead, really, just because we feel like the music could change or whatever. You know what I mean?
I guess
just
this
with the
comes.
timelines of everything.
I guess this comes down to, I get your point, but like, here's how I look at it. If a song's not going to sound good in 6 months or a year anyway, I don't rate it should be being released. You know what I mean? Like, I did want to be timeless, but that's the thing. You think that, don't you? Like, oh, maybe in 6 months I won't like that track anymore. But then I think I've done it before when tracks have took ages to get released. Then when they've come out, I'm like, oh, I don't really like it that much. But I think that's kind of part of learning, like, to develop your ears and pick better tunes, innit?
Yeah, exactly. Just the process of.
Yeah, I think so. So I've put, what does your average day look like then? And now we're back locked down. Do you have a quite good structure?
Yeah, I'm falling into a really good one at the minute. So I'll get up. I'll either go for a walk or do some. I got up at 7:30 today. But between 7:30 and 9, really.
9, fuck yeah.
I'm always up dead late, mate. I'm always up till like 2-3 o'clock in the morning.
Fair enough then, yeah.
But I'm trying not to. That's why I got up at 7 today, so I'm going to bed earlier. My working day will either start at 8 or it'll start and finish at 2 or whatever. Do you know what I mean? It'll fluctuate depending on what time I get up. But I'll get up. I'll do some morning meditation. I'll either go for a walk or a run. And then whatever I've prepared for the day before. Work's picked up quite a bit now for Part Life. I'm back in 4 days a week there. And then I'll just kind of structure with my blocks between what needs to be done with the various projects and make sure that I've got time for that and that and that. And it's what I read a book, Kurt recommended it, called Essentialism, which is fucking wicked. It was just about how you're best managing your time. And for ages, because again, when you've got so much going on, it's easy to kind of forget what needs to be done and putting it in what order. So it's kind of putting a level of the urgency of what the tasks are.
Yeah, I think people love to just do the things that make them feel busy, but not the important tasks. A book called Deep Work talks about that as well. And there's a book called Eat That Frog. Like, you always want to have the frog in the morning. The biggest thing you need to do, get it done. And I think, like, especially now in the Zoom culture online, people just like think they're being productive by being on Zoom all day. And it's like, if you've been on a 3-hour Zoom call, but like, can't be that productive, surely. But yeah, it's all about trying to get the important shit done, not the urgent stuff.
Yeah. Sat and talked about Zoom for 3 hours to then go and action it for another 2, and then it's like, there's your day gone. That's not productive.
No, it's not. So evening time, are you out? For me, the evenings, I'm usually just chilling out. Do you tend to get stuff done in the evening as well?
I can't switch off, me. It's pretty annoying unless I'm with my missus, and then I have to chill out.
Well,
sorry, go on.
You go.
Just spending a lot of time in the studio, just working from there.
So you're still getting time to make tunes, or
no? Because the acoustic treatment isn't in there, but I'm still just treating it as, you know, as an office day.
Yeah. I think for me, actually, you know what? I used to always be able to fall asleep dead early, but the past few, since the new year, actually, I've been struggling. I think 'cause I've been working a bit later and that, because I've been doing more stuff like planning for my newsletter, podcasts, videos and stuff like that. It is hard to get to switch off and go to sleep in it. Last night it was past 10, which is late for me. And I was like, this morning I woke up at like, cause I'm getting up at like 6 still. When I wake up, it's about 6:30 today. I'm pretty tired still, you know, unless I get to bed. I need to be asleep before 10, me, otherwise I'm knackered, I tell you.
Yeah. And I think I really value 8 hours sleep now.
Oh, mate, I don't know how people do it less. Like, if I have less than 8, like, even just knowing I've had less than 8, it makes me like irritable and just like,
Yeah. So that's why my time might change a little bit. Whereas beforehand, I'd go to bed at like 2-3 o'clock in the morning. I'd get up at 7, and I'd be knackered, but I'd be like, I've just got to crack on and do it. But my mentality's changed a little bit in the sense that, you know, I'm important as well. I've got to rest. I've got to recoup to be my best self, to crack on with my day and get everything done and make myself even more productive.
Well, I think it's that massive. It's the thing now that it's been a shift back towards like you actually need to sleep. That hustle's mentality is stupid. Like 4 hours sleep and that. It's like, no, you're the idiot here, mate. Like, you used to be the one, didn't it? Like 5 years ago. Like, sleep when you're dead.
Yeah,
you need to sleep tonight. Sleeping.
But you'll die well early, mate.
I know. So I think we've covered quite a lot of good stuff there, man. And the last thing I thought I'd mention is positivity. You're probably one of the most positive guys I've met. What is that down to? Is there a secret, or is that just you?
My mum.
Yeah.
My mum and then my granddad. They're the most positive people ever. Like when I was a kid, if I kick a leaf, my mum would go, "Well done, son. Well done." You know what I mean? Just absorbing and loving life, mate. Like I'm grateful for everything that I've got, everything, everyone around me, everything that I do. I'm just fucking well grateful for it. And I think if I wear a smile, like someone else is going to smile back at me, and I've just made someone smile. Then do you know what I mean? Like that, and you don't even have to think about doing that. If you can just wake up and you can actually be happy, and it's going to help others as well. And I think a lot of what I want to do long term is just help other people, you know, whether it's in a party environment or setting up a trust or whatever it is. You know, we did the Big Mind campaign, which thank you for being a part of. Like, I just want to help people. Do you know what I mean? And I think being positive is a big part of that.
Yeah, that's an amazing answer. I think to me, I've realized there's so much more to life than DJing is like the one, but like there's so much fucking more to life than just being a DJ and like being a promoter. Like there is so much to do, like just enjoying every day, being happy every day, and just enjoying life, like you say.
Yeah, because you know, the more like you invest in yourself, you're realizing, you're reading and you're learning and you're gathering all this knowledge, and it's like, you know, all these people who've got millions and millions of pounds. Yeah, I want to be a millionaire, but the most important thing is I want to be happy in myself, and focusing on yourself is so important. Do that, and then everything else will just fall into place.
Yeah, man, what an answer. So what I've got now is 10 questions in 10 minutes. So you've got a minute to answer each question. I've never done this before, but it's I thought some of them might be quite one word answer. If they are, we'll go on to the next one. But they're not. They're just like trivial questions. But I reckon they're pretty interested to hear your answers.
Oh, my general knowledge isn't the best.
Oh no, there's no right or wrong answer. Don't worry. It's just right. So we'll start now. So it's not like a time. You have to answer it quickly. I just mean just so we can move to the next question. So the first question is, what was your best purchase of 2020?
2020. I'm going to say my iPad on Christmas Day, which was a late thing, but I've started doodling, mate, and I'll send you some after this.
Good.
It's another way of just letting your brain just chill out. Do you know what I mean? Like a walk is. It's just another form of meditation for me. I just literally, my pen hits the page and I just draw the mad.
You know what the iPad's good for? You can put it on front camera and use it as like when you're working out, you can like spot yourself if you've got weights at home instead of buying a mirror.
There we go.
I know, good one.
There we go.
Also, I do podcasts.
You've got a proper setup, you, haven't you, the home gym?
I know. I do podcasts on that at night, so I leave my phone out my room and have my iPad in my room, so I can't message anyone and put my podcast on there. It's quite a good one.
Nice.
Right. So next question: what is your go-to cheat meal?
I love a Nando's. I don't know if it's necessarily a cheat meal, but yeah, I love a Nando's or a curry. I love a good Ruby Murray.
I guess it depends what you're getting from Nando's. What's your Nando's order?
The chicken thighs, but peri tamer, creamy mash, spicy rice.
I reckon that's a cheat meal.
That's a cheat meal. It's carby, innit?
Double carbs. That's a cheat meal. It's not.
Carbs, mate.
Yeah, definitely.
I enjoy it.
So what would be the soundtrack? If you were in a music video? What would be the soundtrack to your life?
Ooh. D-Bass Dreaming.
Oh, good one. John DeMaster Sunway's played that one.
It's got that energy to it. Nice little cheeky vocal.
Yeah, I like that.
Nice happy tune in it.
Yeah. Reading or running?
Ooh. At the minute, reading, I'd say.
I think
I'm getting into running.
It's just long running. It's like when you
tough running, isn't it?
When you do it, it feels mint. But when I've done it, I'm like, that was mint. That, but like the thought of going on a run, you're just like, But it's just like getting started, isn't it?
Yeah, I've got my mate Emil runs a gym called Ace Conditioning, and they do a running club on a Tuesdays and Thursdays. It's been wicked, mate. Really good turnout. Started this Tuesday. It's been wicked.
What's the furthest you've ever run?
I've only done 10k. Furthest I've ever done is 10k.
Rough in it, rough running. Shout out to Joe Walker doing 100k.
Mate, I proper respect his mentality, mate. When he's talking about his next task there and doing fucking like 5 items, it's like, wow, you're mad, you're sick. But I've set myself a goal, right? Like I said, I'm getting in. It's since lockdown, really. The second one where I've really thought, right, running is going to be better. It's really good for mental health. It's good for my body, my physique, everything. It's just good for my heart, the full works. So I've set myself a goal. I'm going to do 5K in 23 minutes by the end of Jan. And then in February, I want to run 100K across the month. It's not loads, but it's just...
Everyone's heard it. You've said it now as well. Accountability.
Said it. Out
said
there.
You said it. Right, so everyone message Ollie at the end of this month asking for his 5K time.
I've done it in 23 and 25 seconds. That's the quickest I've done it. I'm really Jan.
You'll get there, man.
I'll get there.
Favourite quote?
Ooh, genius is simply seeing the bigger picture.
I like that. Yeah, I like that a lot. Another Nando's question, actually. What's your go-to spice?
You know what, mate? I used to be like, walk in and just give it hot. You know what I mean? I used to give it hot and just say, want even hot. Do you know what I mean? I used to be that kid. But I like the peritamer. I like the peritamer, mate.
You're like, it's not even spicy. It's not even spicy. That is just sweating. Yeah, I did the extra hot for a bit. Then I was like, you know what? It's not even nice, is it? When you're like sat there sweating, like, yeah, it's not even hot. That classic. Biggest lesson within the last year?
Biggest like life lesson?
Yeah, I'd say.
I think just work on yourself. I think this break is just really, really focused on me and what I want. Do you know what I mean? And making sure that I'm putting the process in place to just keep bettering myself. Yeah. You know what I mean? I think beforehand, I was a busy guy, and like I love being busy. And like I just love working. Do you know what I mean? But it's managing that. Life's not all about that. It's like we've just discussed. It's about finding that inner happiness and just making sure that you day to day and you keep waking up with a smile, regardless. That's the most important.
Good one. So here's an interesting one. If you got locked up in jail, who would you ring to try and break you out? Who would you get to sneak you out? Who's going to get a plan to get you out there?
My cousin Gav.
Yeah, does he know what he's doing, him?
He knows what he's doing, mate.
I like the name Gav, mate.
Gav.
Yeah, if
anyone knows that Gav, he knows the dance.
And with his tools.
Yeah. On job, mate, for anything.
I love that. I need to get Gav's number, I think. What's your guilty pleasure? Mate. What's your guilty pleasure?
What do I love? I love a bit of Cadbury's.
What Cadbury's? That it? Just some chocolate? Yeah, chocolate, man.
I love a bit of chocolate.
Are you a chocolate every day? Are you ration it?
Nah. I'm pretty good with my, I'm pretty phase of the macros, right? But generally speaking, like I'm really good with my diet. I might have a little something little cheeky on the weekend with Grace. Love that pho. Have you been to that? Oh, actually, Pho Q kitchen. It's unbelievable, mate. Vietnamese gaff in town. They do these Vietnamese like not bao buns. It's like a baguette. You dip it in sauce.
Unreal.
I put it on my story before. It's next level.
I still need to try one of those. I need to try one of those donut, the cookies. Sorry, those
gooey
ones. Yeah, they look good.
Shout out to my one, guys.
They look good.
Yeah, they're bad.
So that's your guilty pleasure, chocolate.
Nah, I'll say a full cube. I'll say that. Yeah.
Yeah. So here's a good one actually. One item you couldn't live without. Can't be a bird.
One item I couldn't live without, my laptop. Couldn't live without.
Yeah.
Couldn't live without it.
What about your phone or laptop?
You can do what you do on your phone and your laptop.
You can do it with your laptop. You could do it the other way around as well. But you'd go laptop over phone, yeah.
Yeah.
Can't take that to a party though.
What? Imagine.
You couldn't put it in your pocket. I know.
Yeah, but you can't. It's like say like all your docs and stuff like that. You can't really do that on your phone. You can, but it's a bit more.
I know, but I guess then what would you do if you like go into Tesco and I suppose you don't need to take your phone, do you really? Yeah. Take it put it on the trolley at the front.
If you need me, you need me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. To be fair, that's something I've started doing. Just leave my phone at home more. If I'm going out and that. I've got the Apple Watch. The Apple Watch is that as long as you can track your steps in that, that's all you need, isn't it?
Yeah, that's all you need, mate. Well, how far into that? Use it like just before you go to bed, you'll put your phone down, or
I try and do a good 2 hours now, but it's easier said than done. The only I think.
Have you read,
Go on.
have you read The 4 Hour Work Week?
No, but I listen to Tim Ferriss's podcast all the time. He's actually my favorite podcaster now.
Because in that, he goes a little bit left field with it. Like, he didn't really agree with what he said. He was like, you should buy yourself a new phone, right? Set your phone to voicemail. So then, but if people really need you, then you put your proper number on the voicemail of your other phone, and then they'll ring you. Like,
yeah, Tim Ferriss is mad. I think he just like doesn't email anyone and stuff like that. Like he's got really strict, but he's a busy guy, man. I need to read that book, but there's mixed reviews on it. I think people say it's impractical unless you've really got an idea which is actually going to be able to work on for 4 hours a week. Do you know what I mean? I've not read it though, so I'm not sure. But what do you think of it?
I didn't finish it. I just felt like, for the way that I like to work, it didn't really.
Yeah.
I mean, I took bits from it, but it wasn't one of them where it was like, I'm on for that every single point.
Yeah. He's a clever man, him though.
Yeah.
He's like I was chatting to someone recently about him. Like, what does he even do? But he's like an advisor for like Shopify, like tons of like these tech companies and startups. Like there's like one thing we're doing bits, but like them like in Silicon Valley, they're like another level of
global bits.
Yeah, like serious bits. Like it's just billions of like it's pocket change them, innit?
Yeah. Globe, where we're going, babe.
I know. So yeah, man, I think that's all of it. There's just one question left I've asked everyone. What do you know now that you wish you knew then?
What do I know now that I wish I knew then? What do I know now that I wish I knew? It's a tough question, that.
It's a good one.
So I was gonna first thing that comes to my mind is just, be yourself. But I've always stuck to that. I've always stuck to my guns.
Anything you do differently now?
Manage your time better. I think don't just have a goal and just have this. I want to do this. How are you going to get there? How are you going to achieve it? Do you know what I mean? Put processes in place how to achieve that big goal. Everyone should have a moonshot. You should have something that feels impossible to get, but how are you going to get it? How are you going to do it? It's not just about dreaming something up. It's like you need to study and research and put everything in place to achieve what you want.
I think that's a great answer. I think that's what people get massively confused by when you hear about the law of attraction. You think if you just think something, but I've not actually read the book Law of Attraction, but I think what people get mistaken by is if you just think something, it's going to happen. I think you've got to do what you've just said, put things in place and actually have a strategy. Nothing happens by chance.
Yeah. Like the Secret, it's good. That was like one of the first like self-help books I read when I was in uni, and that kind of helped with my mentality and stuff. But that's like a more practical version of it. Who says you can't? Who says you can do that? Nice. That's like a realistic, rather than it's like it feels a bit fantasy, The Secret, a little bit when you look back and reflect on it.
Yeah, I think
it's all about good energies. Yeah, it is. I completely agree with that, but you need to actually work to get there.
Yeah, I think it's just like an entry level one in it that kind of makes you. I think it just simplifies the process, which is much more deep. Yeah, man. I think that's good. That it's a shame we had a few glitches, but I'll just try and chop it and get it seamless. Anything you want to add? Any shout outs? Anything to keep your eyes out for? Shout out to Joey Jackson.
Joey Jackson, the gran.
I'll have to get Joey on here, mate. Wow, it'd be funny, yeah. For a comedy special.
Yeah, get a couple cocktails on.
I know, yeah.
Cocktail special. Late nights with Josh Baker.
And that'd be a good one, that. Cool, mate. Well, nice one for your time.
Thank you very much. One thing I would say is just everyone just stay positive. Do you know what I mean? Be grateful for what you've got. Be happy you've got a roof over your head, that you've got some food in your belly. Just if you can be happy with them things, the world will return to normality at some point. And when it does, we are fucking having it. Full stop.
We are having it. Yeah. So everyone wherever you are, get some Manchester flights booked, trains booked, and come and witness Animal Crossing You and Me party. Yeah.
Yes. Collaborations, mate.
Yeah, man.
Well. Hopefully. We were talking, weren't we, mate?
I know, so close yet so far.
Artwork done a lot, but we go again.
I know. Cool. Cheers, mate. Well, I'll give you a shout in a bit, and thanks again for your time, bro.
Absolute pleasure, mate. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Safe, bro. Respect. See you in a bit.